Hey everybody, Adam Savage alongside an old colleague, Martin Meunier. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
We are in Dan Lanigan's collection, specifically his collection of stop motion animation props. Martin and I used to work together like 34 years ago for Jamie Heineman. We built a whole bunch of weird stuff together, parts of the Titanic display model, Zoobs, and we built the Lost City of Gold together. We crunched a lot of time in that shop.
I learned a lot of tricks from you. I've been watching him.
I
was like, oh shit.
I learned a lot from you back then. You were one of the, I remember encountering you and being like, oh, this guy's really fast.
Until I saw you build this gun over a weekend, this sci-fi gun, and I was like, wait, you did this yesterday? And I was like, I really was, I kind of was like, oh no. I thought I was fast, but this is like way beyond human capacity.
No, when you were doing the grand ballroom from the Titanic model and you were hand painting in all the mullions in resin in that silicone. Anyway,
that was not
suffice to say, we've worked together for a long time, but in the intervening 30 years, you've had a huge effect on stop motion. We're surrounded by a lot of puppets affected by your work. You have an Oscar.
Oh yeah, technical Oscar.
I'm not going to qualify it. You have an Oscar.
It's a smaller statue.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Do they really give you a smaller statue?
Yeah, well, it's a statue on a plaque.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a base. There's like 3 different types of technical. There's a paper, there's a frame, and then there's the one that's actually a little statue. It's half a statue.
Nonetheless, in your resume, Academy Award can get listed.
That's good, yeah.
What was your technical innovation? Let's talk about
Well,
this.
it was basically when I was working on James and Giant Peach, we had replacement faces for the spider.
Right.
And there was a lower and a bottom. It was one full face, right? Yes, and we switched them over.
So every face is a completely unique
complete face, and they would chatter a lot.
And it was by chatter, what you mean is the placement of the face alignment to camera wasn't perfect, and it would move on when you develop the film.
They used like a bicycle chain link for the
registration,
but all the bicycle links were different. Right. So automatically the faces would just chatter like that, and we spent like a year trying to make them work until we realized it's not going to work anymore.
This is the death knell of stop motion, is to have something flashing like that.
Yeah, it was horrifying.
Yeah.
So we revised the whole method, and I incorporated the magnets inside the molds, inside the silicone, so that the faces would match with magnets. This was a whole complex little situation.
Yeah.
And when Henry told me to work on Coraline, he said, I want you to work on Coraline.
This is Henry Selick, director of Peach, who also directed Coraline.
Just before I'd worked on Life Aquatic with him, I was a supervisor on all these creatures, that were underwater creatures for Life Aquatic, and he said, well, we're going to do Coraline, and we're going to have a lot of replacement faces. And at that point, I was working with another guy called Brian McLean, who's still working at Laika, and who had access to a rapid prototyping machine. And he said, Martin, you should try this rapid prototyping machine. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, because Henry, when we were on Life Aquatic, said, Martin, we need to do some replacement faces using rapid prototype. It was it was Henry's idea on the Life Aquatic.
Amazing.
It was an old machine, and then I forgot about it, and then I realized, oh, maybe I'll try this time. So it was a brand new machine, much better. So I did a quick test, and I shot like 15 Coraline faces. I still have the test. I can send you the link to the test where you see these faces.
And each face is 3D printed, or is each face registration 3D printed?
The entire face was 3D printed.
Okay.
Yeah, and we made little holes. I made little holes for the magnets. And suddenly I was like, oh, I hope this works. So I tested the 15 faces at Laika in Oregon, in Portland, which was the old Will Vinton studio.
Right.
And I was really anxious because I was like, well, if it doesn't work, I'm pretty much screwed. But it registered perfectly. Right off
the magnets that you put in the 3D prints kept registering and not flashing.
Yeah, not flashing, perfect, and all the faces moved. I kept that little movie. You'll see it.
Okay.
And at that point, I was like, all right, well, the gates have opened, and we just started making faces. And the first one we started with was Coraline. And the one thing that's different here is that normally it would be one full face.
Right.
But with this, Anthony Scott, which is an animator, I said, well, maybe we'll split the face.
So the face is split at the eyes.
At the eyes, and that way you don't have to. Coraline can be angry and go through all the different mouths she wants.
Right.
On the spider from Jim's Giant Peach, you had sets of eyebrows that would match the mouth. So you had an angry set, a sad set, and with each angry set had all these vowels. With her, you could basically use an angry brow with a sad mouth.
Get all these extra expressions.
Yeah, and it became exponential.
Amazing.
So instead of having 600 expressions, you ended up with 150,000 expressions. And the only conflict was the line.
Right.
There's a line.
And so how did you resolve that for yourselves?
Well,
you just watched enough footage and camera and thought, we can accept that?
I wanted to keep it because my idea, I told Henry, I said, it's Coraline. So she should have a line in her face. And he was like, yeah, it's great. We'll keep the line. Who cares? But Laika was like, well, we want to clean it, so we hired a digital team and we cleaned all the lines digitally.
So it just scrubbed out.
Yeah, scrubbed out.
Easy to do.
Easy to do. Well, it was 3D, so it was a little complicated.
Right.
Because you had to do it twice, and you wanted to make sure the line, the fix wasn't going to jitter.
Right.
But it worked, and in the end, we ended up doing a lot of the characters from Coraline with split faces, and then we did characters that had 3 parts. So it was the top of the head would come out, the nose would come out, the eyes, the lower jaw. So it became even more complex. But she was the first one.
When I look at the separation here, it is well less than like 1,000th of an inch.
It's tiny. Yeah, but Henry, on the last movie we did with him was, Wendell and Wild was a film he did for Netflix. But before that, we had a movie that we worked on at Pixar, which was called Shadow King. And in that one, we worked for several years on it. And
that was Cinderbiter?
Cinderbiter,
right.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that name?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you can see it online. There's a little documentary on it that was made. But we made that seam line so tight that it became invisible. It was amazing. It was just, you wouldn't be able to see it.
You sent me some castings.
I sent you some
And
castings.
they blew my mind.
Yeah,
it just absolutely, I could not conceive of how that tolerance that you were able to get.
I made a tiny little wedge that like laps on the other one. It goes, hides the wedge. It was like, it took a year to create that, for that seam line to disappear. But on Coraline, we didn't do it this way. It was different. But on Coraline, it was interesting. It was trying to do it so that the animators, when they pick these faces, it wouldn't intersect with the rest of the face. Right. It wouldn't mess with the rest of the face.
Right.
So with Coraline, there was techniques. So you put your finger here, you put your finger on the nose, and you just pull down.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It came out.
Oh, what beauty.
And we had to leave a little gap for the mouth.
Right.
And because there were teeth.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah, pretty much. And then also we had to make sure that the eyes would intersect with the face. So when you put a face, you didn't want to move the eyes. And then there's a little hole in the brow, and then you go inside and you pick it out. Oh, this one doesn't want to come out, Coraline. Oh, look at you. You want to keep your brow. So I'm not going to try it.
Yeah, she'll keep it.
Yeah, she'll keep her brow.
But the eyes also.
Oh, the eyes were crazy because there's a little lid that comes down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Henry.
No, I see it.
Yeah, and not only that, the lid. So we created this tiny eye rig, but the lid also had to change angle.
Right.
So it comes down and it turns.
How do you change the angle without pulling the whole face apart?
Well, there's a tiny little lever on the inside that you could push. Once you remove the brow, you can actually manipulate the lid, and it would close and come out.
And
they
all
were
this is happening
out of
between
brass.
every frame being filmed.
And with her, the one thing that was really cool is the eye has depth and a little bit of epoxy on the eye, and
so it's real depth.
But if you really want to see more about her, on our YouTube channel, Cinema Relics Investigate, we basically did a deep dive on Coraline.
Amazing.
So you can check it out. And we screen matched all these stars to Coraline on screen. So it was all very interesting.
I want to talk about this sweater. It looks like it's knitted.
It was knitted by hand by this miniature sweater knitter.
So every Coraline sweater in the film was hand knitted.
Hand knitted.
It's not a casting.
No, hand
so
knitted.
every star is applied by hand to those.
And you can see on our episode that we were able to screen match the position of the stars because each sweater is slightly different with the stars in a different spot.
So, oh my gosh.
And see,
yeah, please put it back.
You'll hear the little click from the magnet. That was a lot of fun.
That's thrilling. And it's all in the employ of just getting back to that handmade feel on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, the tactility of Peach and Nightmare and Coraline is its main thing.
I call it the toy factor.
Yeah.
It feels like you're looking at a scaled item. It doesn't feel like in CG, you can't tell the scale of it.
Yeah.
But the interesting part is John Lasseter, when we were done, he came up to us and he said, "Oh, it's the first time I see a character emote. And it's the first time I could connect to a stop motion character.
Oh.
Because I could see emotion to it."
Amazing, because you gave the animators so much more to play with.
Range. And also, some people said, well, I could read her lips.
What?
Yeah. So they could read Coraline's lips, which was pretty amazing, because that had never been happened before.
Right, because all those lip movements on Nightmare, it's just like you're getting away with what you can get away with. Wow.
And with her, it was a lot of subtlety.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was fun.
What a beautiful thing to hear.
One character that was really problematic was the other mother over here.
Can we talk? Yeah.
Because we couldn't remove the face because the hair was in the way.
Oh.
So you see?
Can I tell you that her button eyes are upsetting in person too?
So the button eyes are silicone, and there's a little magnet behind the button eyes, so you can take a little rod with a magnet and pull them out.
Oh,
Boink, boink.
amazing. But so what was your solution to getting the face off?
Pushing the hair to the side,
Oh my gosh!
and then you can pull the face off.
Wow.
So there's a little magnet with a little rig here, and it just keys.
So you were at a desk for like a year just working out these tiny little registration systems?
3 years.
3 years. Unbelievable.
Trying to figure out, and every single character had a different challenge.
Right.
And also, there was a big issue with the neck intersecting with the face.
Right.
So we had little caps that the silicone went in little caps, so it didn't intersect with the face. So every single character was just engineered, and it was just complicated. And
I remember visiting your shop over in Hunters Point. This was probably 10 or 15 years ago when I was using your mold maker, Eric.
Yes, yeah.
And you guys were doing some super miniature action figure stuff. I would assume that kind of mold making experience came in handy for this.
It did, and it was really problematic.
All right, when we're talking about complexity of stop motion puppets, this one feels like it is off the charts. We have cloth dress, we have spindly fingers. Tell me about this.
Well, this was the other mother. So it was the first time we tried to do a bicolored print. So it was the first machine that could print 2 colors.
Oh.
So this was our first test to do
And
this.
what were the two colors? Are
Black and white.
amazing.
Yeah, and it was interesting because we had to make sure that it was not translucent. If we backed that face with black or a black
Gotcha.
resin, so
Okay.
it would print white and black, black and white.
Yeah.
So this was designed for that machine. Like, we have this machine. Let's make this character look like something crazy. And at one point, we did it with we tried to print a piece of paper, and we had paper applied on the face with registration because Henry wanted this weird look, but eventually the machine allowed us to do these weird little faces with cracks.
And how do the faces
Same
out? Same thing.
thing. It's
It's just a
just
bit of a-
you pull the bottom and it pulls out. I'm not going to do
We'll
it.
let
but
it be,
yeah,
but
it
sure.
pulls out.
Martin, these fingers. Tell me about these fingers. You did these in multiple scales.
Yeah, 3 scales. Actually, 4 scales. So it was this scale. Here you'll see I think this is 1.5
that's slightly
scale,
bigger.
and then the final. This one. This was for the introduction of the movie. There's an intro where you see the other mother build one of the little dolls that she likes to use to capture kids.
Yeah.
So these were done. I designed this in the computer.
Yeah.
Then printed all these little fingers, and I printed these little trays of fingers that I molded and made little wax castings.
You did lost wax.
We did lost wax.
Even for these little tiny.
Even for little guys, it's all lost wax. These have little set screws. These were just super glued to tighten them, and we did a lot of a lot of different hands. And these would break constantly, so we had a lot of them.
I can't even imagine. And they're not covered with skin. This is how they are.
That's how they are. And there's metacarpals right here. You can see there's little metacarpals.
Yeah. And you made them animatable.
Yeah, everything was animatable.
Oh my gosh.
It was very challenging, but Henry loved them, so he was really happy. And we also there's a close-up of 2 of her fingers grabbing something in the intro of the movie.
Oh, and that was an even bigger scale.
That were even bigger. I took thick armature wire,
Right.
and I just carved armature wire.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
I took him on the belt sander, and until one of them got so hot, and I just dropped it on my hand, and it just made a big scar across my hand. And I'm like, oh, other mother scarred me for life.
Give me a sense of the time factor of developing and executing these. Is it months?
Yes, years.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably took 6 months at least to get from start to beginning. And there was a lot of different designs. This is rubber.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, and then the arms can go down in the rubber, the back of it. See, there's a spine on the back. And kind of
all of that
up.
moves and
Yeah.
can breathe and oh my Lord.
My theory with it is that basically if you watch the movie, she looks like a spider, but she also looks a little bit like Jack Skellington.
Yeah,
She has that hint. And her husband in the movie transforms into a pumpkin. So if they had a kid,
It might be Jack Skellington.
it might be Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King, and
But there's
that
also-
same facial color.
Well, and there's also a connection between Edward Scissorhands and Mama Needlefingers here.
There you go.
Dude, this is such beautiful work. I can't even conceive of this.
And she also has 4 legs, so she...
Really?
Yeah, she's a spider, basically.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so at the end, she's running on a giant web. Yeah, she was quite complex. I think we made maybe like 4 or 3 of her. I can't remember how many,
wow.
But not a lot. And look at the cracks on the arms. There's little cracks on the arms, like painted cracks on the arms.
It's incredible. Even the little honeycombs visible on the edges. It's again, there's no scale, there's no closeness at which the illusion isn't complete.
And even her hair, look, it's flattened layers of hair.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's beautiful. And there's mother, other mother, and there's mother of phase, mother 2, and other mother 3. This is another mother 3. So there were, and also, and if you've watched the movie, it's the first time we did a stop motion morph sequence.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it's not a morph, it's not a morph, it's a real, see, we did a replacement sequence, but her face morphing from other mother 2 to other mother 3.
Oh, nice. So it's literally a physical replacement morph.
It's a replacement morph. It went from this character to the other character that's up here. And you can see it just morphing. It's really cool. It was like, really yeah. And we did it just because we wanted to challenge it. Like, all right, let's do a little replacement, you know.
Oh, I love that.
There's like 15 faces. Henry let us do pretty much everything we wanted.
So you'd come to him with an idea of like, this could be possible. He'd be like, yeah, go for it.
Do it.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. And there's a lot of little Easter eggs in the movie. There's one point when there's a little kangaroo mouth that runs underneath a door. And if you watch it frame by frame, as it's squeezing under the door, it poops a little kangaroo poop. And you can see its butt, and there's a little poop that comes out and drops on the floor. And it's one of the animators, I think it was, I can't remember who did it, but it was like, you know, tiny little hints. Oh, the great Easter egg that somebody found a couple years ago, and I told Henry I was going to do it. There's a point where the other mother breaks an egg, and there's a yolk that falls out. And if you look inside the yolk, it's Jack Skellington's face. It's a miniature
you did that without telling Henry?
I did. I told Henry before. I said, can I do that? And he said, yeah, go for it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. Coraline was really like a lot of fun.
Martin, thank you so much, man. There's a lot more to talk about, and we'll probably do
pleasure.
some more videos in the future. But dude, your work is, I look at it and it makes me tired just looking at it. And that's a compliment.
Me too. Just remembering what we had to do makes me tired.
Thank you so much for watching that video. If while watching any of my videos you like any of the t-shirts that you see me wearing, well, you can go buy them. And there's 2 places you can get them. First, you can go to tested-store.com, a web address that my crew laughs is one of the hardest things for me to remember in my whole brain. But now they've given me a second URL. You can now go to adamsavage.com and buy any of the t-shirts you see me wearing on this channel. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff there too. Thanks.